Hey guys, so today is in fact Monday. It's the 3rd of November, and it's been a tiring day and a tiring week. But I'm gonna get through this little recording for you. I've in fact failed the recording now twice. So it's one of those days where I'm exhausted,
We'll make our appeal.
and the more I try, the more exhausted I
Started
get.
bomb. Acknowledged.
So hopefully this time I'll do a good job of it.
I will tell our story. Standing by for orders.
So yeah, the most important thing is that this week I went back to Lamu Makoe, and I met with Deputy Governor Mubarak. And basically, Mr. Mubarak says, Dr. Mubarak says that we will be the only guy operating in the trees. We will get a good chunk of the trees, but it's going to take a lot more paperwork and even a vote in their council, and it's probably going to take another year before we're allowed to break ground, which is a huge slowing down. But I wasn't that dismayed to hear it. Mubarak was surprised I wasn't more dismayed. And even Benjamin wasn't that dismayed because we've been pushing pretty fast. And if we do get it going in a year, that'll be okay. Now, we do need to make sure that we keep riding the situation so that if we don't, it'll take more than a year. So next week, we're going to talk to the customer in Nairobi. One thing is the customer has been talking about he'll need 2 years from when we break ground until we start selling product. So we might be able to overlap his 2 years with the governor's 1 year, and so start his clock ticking after 6 months. We're not going to be allowed to enter the forest, but for example, we could set up mangrove seedling nurseries. So hopefully we can work something like that out. We won't get our memorandum of understanding until a year in, but we'll get something called a declaration of intent, and that might very well be enough for the customer to begin funding us to an extent. So that he can make sure that he's gonna win the game. He's gonna be our customer, basically. So that was a blow. The other blow that happened that I heard about on Saturday is that my cousin in America has now declared she is not coming because her life is too good in America. So that is everything. All my businesses are falling apart except for the key one, which is still going pretty well. No complaints there. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. This Lamu situation does mean that I will not be visiting Lamu again. So now I have 3 more Sundays, maybe 3 or 4 more weeks in Malindi before I head back to the west. So that should be a bit relaxing. But judging by these 4 days, it's actually not been super relaxing at all. I've been exhausted. But yeah, my birthday was on Wednesday. I had a party on Friday. It was nice. It was a bit quieter than last time. I was exhausted
We've
and
moved
nearly
the needle.
slept during the party. And but it was good. It was no complaints. I visited Salama's gravesite yesterday. This is why I didn't.
Move the needle.
This is why I was unable to present to you guys.
The people will come to our side.
Yeah, I'm gonna push up towards Italy. So I visited Salama's gravesite. Her family is deep in Giriyama country, quite an impoverished land. And it was pretty interesting for me to look at Malindi from essentially their point of view, to empathize with them. Because for them, Malindi is the capital of their kingdom, as it has been forever. And it's a big, cosmopolitan, fantasy place. And they have a lot of farmland, which is getting better every year as the rains come. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. I crashed my bike yesterday. I had a failed date on Saturday, and the temperature has gone up. So I have a lot of reasons, and these 2 relative failures. I have a lot of reasons for low morale right now. But anyway, looking at Malindi from the point of view of Giriyama country was quite interesting for me. Seeing new opportunities, basically, in our rural areas of Malindi, and seeing our culture here from a different lens as a cosmopolitan international place. We always look at Nairobi in the West and see that we're small and backwards. But from the point of view of the Giriyama, we are not, and we kind of have a duty of care to be great for them. So that was very interesting. I've been entirely broke. It's been another annoying thing. But the other key piece to talk about is that today, for the first time ever, I have 2 garbage trucks sitting in my parking spaces of my villa. Ah, will you look at that? I have my old truck. My old truck, I was getting it repaired. They said it would be 2 weeks. It's taken, in fact, 10 weeks. But it's happened. It's repaired. It's back there. So I could be running both trucks, except now my drivers aren't in the right space. But starting probably on next year, in January, I will be running 2 trucks. And that'll be perfect for getting enough HDPE for my new machine. So that's a bit of a milestone. I have my 2 trucks. I could try to run them both, try and make something work. But it won't be for a bit. Tomorrow I'll switch to my recently repaired truck, because the truck I've been running just has a minor fault.
Our
And
people have taken control.
so that's quite cool. I have 2 trucks in my garage. Now in this game, I am pushing to control Italy and Germany, and I'm going to be a bit quiet. Now I'm also having, just lost Pakistan. I'm also having my mission to Mars is going to land. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And the first time I recorded, I have a tech I need to choose, and I chose foolishly, so I redid it. But the mission to Mars, I'm not choosing tech, because the AI is, yeah, humanity first is declaring all-out war because they have dicks. It'll be more expensive to make peace with them, basically, because they wanted to steal my Iraq. So this is my technology. But this is a small technology, in fact. Never you mind. So I'm just about to get the tech to... Oh, look at this. This is the solar system. I'm just about to get the tech to access Mars. Now, I can't just immediately colonize Mars. I need to first send a probe. And sending a probe to Mars is going to take quite a while. I think it's going to land. It might not
Since
land.
humanity's earliest days, we have
This
It
is my
takes
tech. This
so
is the-
very little for one tribe of humanity
So, in
to
fact,
look upon a second tribe as
Launch
the
12
other.
probes, right?
Think of what will happen once
That's because I now have the ability to access not just Mars, but everything that's orbit is dependent on Mars, which includes Mars's 2 moons and a bunch of randomly asteroids. And you saw that 12 probes would cost me 21 boosts. Now I'm saving up for 40. 21 would ruin that for me. But if I just probe literally Mars, it'll only cost me 4.1. So that is what I'm going to do. Probe Mars. Now I can also even start a platform on Mars, and I will do that long before the probe lands. But I'd like to get up to my 40 first. So the probe is landing October 31st. That's very good. Now I can more or less ignore that for like a while. But at some point, like I said, I'm going to need to build a platform. Blah blah blah. Oh, and I have a tech. So as you can see, he's done space research. This is a good tech, actually. It's good for him to be this one. But this is 2 social science blue techs. So I definitely need to choose something that isn't that. Last time I chose cybernetics, which I think is wrong. I think the correct would be orbitals, which will allow me to build far larger space stations, which will be what I do as soon as I am safely on the moon. So the 40 that I'm saving up is to build a mine on the moon. Once you have a mine on the moon, that means because the moon has a low gravity well, I can mass drive resources. I can fling resources from the moon elsewhere. And even Mars, it has a big gravity well, but it has no atmosphere. So you can also launch packets from Mars elsewhere. So they are good for mining. And the asteroids as well. But first of all, I'm going to mine the moon. And that might be where I leave it. I might, depending on if I want to talk to you through Christmas, I might leave it when I hit Mars, but I might leave it when I hit a mine on the moon. So in fact, this has taken up all my time. I will have 3 more weeks of lying around. Hopefully next time will be less exhausting and stressful. The heat will be high. So, okay, so that's it. With that, I will leave you. I will talk to you guys next Sunday in 6 days.